I usually like to share my positive parenting stories, but I thought today we would change it up and I would share one of my worst parenting moments. We used to live in a 100-year-old house that only had 2 rooms with locks on the doors, and that was both of the bathrooms. They were old locks. They were the kind where inside it turned like a normal lock, but from the outside you needed a key, like a legit key. And we just never even worried about it because we never locked any doors in our house at the time. We were a family of 4. We had a 3-year-old daughter who was first child, rule follower energy. But then we also had an 18-month-old son who we had not mentally caught up with the fact that he was second child, gonna be middle child energy. It was the middle of the week in the afternoon. My son had been silent for about 30 seconds. So I started walking around the house to look for him, and I walked into our master bedroom and saw that the master bathroom door was closed. I go over, try to open the door, and it's locked, and I can hear Peter inside. You guys, I go into gentle parenting mode. I am like, Peter, hey bud, can you come unlock the door? Trying to instruct an 18-month-old to use some fine motor skills to save himself. Didn't work. So I ran to the kitchen because we had this one junk drawer that I knew had a bunch of keys in it. Grabbed all the keys out of the drawer, went back to the bathroom, tried every single one, none of them worked. My second thought was that the bathroom had a window that led directly out to our back patio. It was kind of a small window, but it was unlocked, you guys. So I start to open it, only opened about 3 to 4 inches. One of the previous owners of the house had nailed inside the window so the window could only open that far. I think it was like a safety feature so no one could break into the house via the window, but it was having the opposite safety effect on me in the moment. Anyways, I open the window, I look inside, and I see Peter standing there with a razor in his hand and red all over his hands. My anxiety was already up to here and it just skyrocketed. Guys, I am not the parent that's good in stressful situations. My husband is the parent who's like cool, calm, and collected, thinks reasonably in all situations. That's not me. Anyways, right next to the window was the toilet in the bathroom. So I lured my son over, had him climb up on the toilet, he's great at climbing, and took the razor out of his hand. The miracle in all of this, you guys, is he wasn't crying. Like, although he was injured, he wasn't in any pain, despite there being red all over his hands, now all over the toilet, all over the wall. Oh, you guys, it was so stressful. My sister actually lived with us at the time. And right when all of this was happening, she was getting home from work. So now we had 2 adults at home to try to rescue my son out of the bathroom. One of us grabs an entire box of fruit snacks from the pantry and stands at the back window holding onto Peter's hand while feeding him fruit snacks. Now, I think we were giving him half a fruit snack at the time because we didn't want him to choke, you guys. We couldn't get to him. So we were being safe, I promise. But feeding him fruit snacks to keep him happy. And the other one of us was at the door trying every single key to the bathroom over and over again, thinking that it would eventually work. Well, after about 3 minutes of this, you guys, I decided I need to save my son. I have to save him. So I head to the garage and I get our hammer and I decide that I am going to hammer a hole into the door big enough just so I can reach my hand in the door, unlock it, open it, save my son. Now you might be wondering Kaylee, why didn't you guys just take the hinges off the door? This was a 100-year-old home. You guys, back then they must have cemented the hinges on or something. I don't know. We tried, it wasn't possible. So I felt like putting a hole in the door was the only option at that moment. I take the hammer, I wind up and I hit as hard as I can, and the hammer literally just ricocheted off the door. I don't even think it made a dent, but it did make a really loud sound that I remember scared me. And I didn't want to try again. I was so embarrassed. I am not physically strong enough to save my child. Thankfully, my sister's much stronger than me. We switched positions. I went and held Peter's hand. She went and hammered the door. Very successful. Here is a photo of the hole she put in the door. She was able to reach in, unlock the door, we opened it, and saved Peter. Cleaned up his hands, got some Band-Aids. The moral of the story is if you have little kids, fruit snacks always help in stressful situations.